Yeah. What it do? Yeah, it's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that OD pod. For those that don't know who I am the Honorable Junes, not a Bantu or a Jew. And tonight, we're questioning something we've been taught never to question. Jesus is the way. And my question is, the way for who? Christianity is not the original spiritual traditions of melanated African people, whether it's in Africa or outside. It is never, nothing associated with that has anything to do with us, and I'm going to show you. Because Africans already possess their own religious traditions before the Christianization. So right now we're going to examine Christianity, its history, its promise, and what happened when this religion was imposed through systems of power. Now, my main question is, if Jesus isn't coming to save us, then what? Because he's not coming to save us, right? I want you to just pay attention to the narrative that's been sold to us for how many years, right? From the time we was small, we was always told Jesus will be arriving in 2,000 years. Everywhere, from the time we were small to now that we are adults. Some of you guys are in your 30s, some of you guys in your 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe even the 70s. And those that's in the 80s and beyond, they're just waiting to see the upper room. You understand? Now, Jesus was told he was going to arrive in 2,000 years. From 1500 BC till the year 2000 or the year 2026, what is the actual timeline? If anybody was to go look this up, I promise you it will go beyond 2,000 years. And here we are in 2026, and there's not a single sign of his arrival, right? So before Christianity, what were African people practicing before Christianization? What were their spiritual systems? We know that in West Africa, it was Ogun, O'Shea, the list goes on. You know, in Ghana and Nigeria, you know that these people was calling on, doing the Ifa and all that good stuff, right? We also know in South Africa, they was doing their own thing. No, people, listen, to all those that's claiming that South Africa is the Holy Land and Jerusalem and all of that, that is the bold-faced lie, okay? That is a lie. That ideology came into South Africa in the late 1800s, early 1900s, okay? There is no, and I repeat, there is no connection of us with anything that's dealing with that book. Okay? Before I proceed, I just want to clear the airwaves. We have to put things back into its proper perspective. Okay? There was no island of Patmos. That shit never existed. There's no tombs. There was no 70 AD and the destruction of Jerusalem or whatever you want to call it. These things are lies. Okay? The Jerusalem that you guys are talking about is a church that's in that area. It goes back to a church or a school. It doesn't go back to the community. The people do not proclaim that area as the land of Jerusalem. Okay? They do not. They do not. It's outside people, including myself. It was outside people that was trying to tell the people that's in the crib that their crib is this. That doesn't make sense. If I'm in my house and you are a guest in my house, it's gonna take the host, the owner of the house, to show you up and down the house. Just because you read a blueprint doesn't mean you know what goes on in that house. Okay? So we gotta kill that. All right? The Great Wall of Zimbabwe was taken down by Arabs. It was the Arabians that took that down. There was no Romans, etc. Okay? The only reason why, let me say this again, and I'm trying to be very polite. The only reason why South Africa has all these biblical names is because Europeans had the intentions of going there and claiming that land. And they knew in order for them to claim it without any pushback, was to first indoctrinate you with their ideology. That's why Albert Christian, who is a Freemason, who was taught by William S. Crowdy, who is a Freemason, that's why he was sent over there. Why wasn't he sent to West Africa? Why wasn't he sent to Northern Africa? Why wasn't he sent to Nigeria? Why wasn't he sent to Cameroon? He was never sent to those areas. He was sent solely to South Africa to set the stage. And right after he left, I believe it's 1904, 05, or 06, it was a mass migration of Sephardic Europeans. You can go look this stuff up. Don't listen to Junes. Junes don't know what he's talking about. I'm just a regular melanated man trying to get through. But we have to stick to the facts. No more make-believes. No more make-believes. Everything has to be verified. If you're giving people an ideology, you have to be verified. It has to be, sorry. Okay? So, after Albert Christian arrived, that African spirituality, whether it was let's start with South Africa, disappeared. If you was to ask a South African, matter of fact, I saved that. If you was to ask a South African what is their traditional spiritual system, the mass majority of them wouldn't even know. What happened to those systems after the foreign conquest and conversion? What happened to it? I'm going to tell you. You see, when Christianity came, it came with force. It came with bloodshed. It came with destruction. It came with terror. It came with fear. It came with everything you can imagine that is evil that came along with it. And one thing that they made sure that the people did not subscribe to, they made sure that the people never connect back to their old African traditions. They took that away. They said Christianity is the way, the truth, and the light. No man gets to the Father. You know who's the Father that they're referring to? You really believe that there's somebody in the sky? No. They're referring to the Orsinian family. They are referring to the Pope. They are referring to the King of Spain, the King of England. Anybody that had their hands in your demise is who the Father they are referring to. Okay? That's it. If you ask anybody to provide any documentations of anything of Christianity, Jesus, Islam, you name it, the source comes from one place and one place only. It comes from Europe. There's not a single person There's not a single person that can prove that Africa was the original place of the ideology. Nobody can prove it. I heard people say they stole the scrolls. Okay. How do you know they sold the scrolls? How do you know that they copied and pasted and created their own version? You must first be able to provide the original one. Where's the original writings? How can we gain access to that? Why must those writings come strictly from their sources? So you telling me there's not a single melanated person. There's over 7.5 billion people on this earth. You telling me you can't trace one individual that can literally guide you to everything that is so-called Christian or Christianity or Judaism or whatever you want to call it, or Bantuism. You got to be able to show the people, because there are practices that's going on right now in Africa that people can trace back 5,000 years. But why, when it comes to Christianity, Judaism, Islam, we're only able to trace it back to what, 1500, 1600, some 17, 1800? Why aren't we able to trace it all the way back to the BC? You see, listen, BC only stands for before Caucasian. Let me say that again. BC only stands for before Caucasian. And AD stands for after destruction. Okay? You could take it however you want it. I'm not here to fight with you. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to set the stage to let you guys know that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, this man, hold on, let me pull it up for you. This man right here will not come to save any one of you guys. Okay? Show me, like I said, show me the indigenous population practicing Christianity before the arrival of Europeans. I'll wait for it. Show it to me. What does a introduced religion do to you? What does an enforced religion do to you? Matter of fact, I'll leave that question for you guys. Put it in the comments. Let's jump to the Council of Nicaea, shall we? Can we jump to the Council of Nicaea? Why not? Because you know, people be saying that, you know, Junes be speaking at his behind. He don't know what he's talking about. Okay, fine, no problem. We're going to go look at the Council of Nicaea. Okay? Let me back up a little bit. Okay? Let's scroll down, shall we? Okay? The first Council of Nicaea, okay, of the Christian church meeting in ancient Nicaea, now in Izika, Turkey, it was called by the Emperor Constantine I. Now, let me explain to you who Constantine was, because it seems like you guys don't know. Constantine, as you guys can see, was a catchman, right? He was unbaptized. He did not believe in Jesus. He did not subscribe to it. He didn't have any care for it. All he wanted was control of the masses. Okay? He wanted control of the masses. Now, check this out. A lot of you guys keep putting in my comments about this Ethiopian Bible and how it started in Ethiopia and Christianity was here long before, etc. This is a lie from the pits of hell. It's a lie from the pits of hell. The Ethiopian Bible was written by Abba Gurmia. Okay? It took him 14 days to write this so-called book. Okay? He said it was quoted that he asked for the sun to stay down and not be present as he wrote these passages. Now, what melanated man would request the sun not to be present? The only person that can repress the only person that can ask for the sun not to be present when they are writing, and this is no disrespect to my Euros, is Europeans. They know and we know what the sun do to their skin. Okay? Now, this so-called Abba Gurmia was a Byzantine king. You guys know where Bosnia is. Matter of fact, let's see. Let me put that here. No, you know what? I hope I'm spelling it right. There we go. This man right here is the man that created the Ethiopian Bible. Okay? Let me put an end to this foolish nonsense because again, it's tiring. Okay? Let's go to his life. What does this say? This is his father. He was the what? What does this say? Should I continue reading? No, you read it. Don't let me. I want you to read it. I'm just going to scroll down so you guys can get a good understanding. Okay? It says, after his father's death, he became king for 7 years. After which, Abba, his cousin, don't know his name, summoned him to be a monk with him for 5 years. Okay? You see how they just give you brief information. Okay? Okay? Where he stayed for 20 years, created his own religion, his own church. Okay? Okay? He was part of the 9 saints. 9. Okay? Listen carefully. Listen carefully to what this says because you guys be thinking that I be speaking out my ass. Okay, listen. It says what? The 9 saints were a group of missionaries who were important in the initial growth of Christianity in what is now called Ethiopia. Okay? I'm not going to press to read more. That's for you to do. Because again, you guys continuously say that I do not know what I'm talking about. You think I will be standing here before you telling you this if it wasn't facts? Remember, this is the factory over here. If you come to work in the factory, you better fact check everything and stand on factual information. No more beliefs. We go strictly on the facts. This man, the king of Bosnia, okay? Rum, you know you drink, you know where the rum come from? That was their favorite drink. Okay? Let's look at Bosnia. Why not? See what pops up. What does that say? What does that say? What does that say? Does that say Greece? Huh? Is this Jews making this up? Absolutely not. Not making nothing up. You guys are you're making these things in your mind because you don't want to disconnect. You want to hold on to the fugazi. I'm not here to give you the fugazi, people. We're not here for that. Okay? Oh, and another thing. You see him? You see Abba, the man that wrote the Ethiopian Bible? He's also related to Constantine. They're family members through marriage. Constantine was married to his sister. Now, of course, they're not gonna have this information because when I brought this information down, when I brought this information up years ago, out of nowhere, they started taking these things down. Now you seeing the AIs, they reading, they getting all the intel, right? The data centers, and then they doing what? And then they doing what, guys? Huh? Everybody that got listen, I want all you guys to leave all your comments till the end. Please, 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 please let me work. Please let me work. Please let me work. I don't want to get thrown off. Okay? I want you guys to understand this because we got grown men, full-fledged adults with gray hair on their beard, really believing this Hollywood story. We got grown men arguing with me, telling me that Christianity started in Ethiopia. It was there before the Europeans, not knowing that the Europeans are the ones that created it. I'm showing you this right now. Look, Gurmia by the bishop, what? Johanna. That's another word for John. Okay? Okay? It's another word for John. What was his attributes? He was a craftsman. Come on. Come on. And look, it says quick facts. So they know they know we want the facts. But back to the Council of Nicaea. Back to the Council of Nicaea. People, please save it till the end. Let me work. Let me work. Let brother man from the motherland work. Okay? All right? Okay? Who preside over the opening session and took part in the discussion. He hoped a general council of the church will solve the problem created in Eastern Church by the Arianisms, a heresy first proposed by Artists of Alexandria that affirmed that Christ is not the divine but a created being. Pope Sylvester, the Pope, also had their hands in it. Okay, did not attend the council, but was represented. Who he was represented by? The legions. Okay, the legates. Okay, okay, all right. This is the council. No black people, no melanated person, nothing. Has nothing to do with you, melanated man. Just like how the UN and these people, the WHOs, they got nothing to do with you, melanated people. That's why you would never find nobody from America over there to represent you. Just like you would never find an indigenous African over there to represent you. I believe the children are the future. I believe that those people that you see there representing Africa is one of them. That eventually, over time, due to dealing with darker races, they got darker and blended themselves. I believe so. I don't think that there's a single indigenous purebreded African that's in those meetings representing Africa or anything melanated at all. That's just me. Somebody might have to prove me wrong, but that's neither here nor there, right? So Rome plus the Nicaea 325 CE, the Council of Nicaea, right? The Council of Nicaea. Hold on. Let me ask. I forgot to ask the question again. Put it in the comments though. When does an introduced religion becomes your ancestral religion? When? I'll wait for it. You let me know. You listen. Hold on. My computer just froze. Is it my machine? Rome plus Nicaea 325 CE, the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea. Why is my joint being frozen? Hold on, guys. See, this is how the devil works, people. I tell you guys this all the time. You guys be thinking that I be lying when I tell you that the Council of Nicaea, you guys be thinking I be lying when I tell you what I be telling you about how these things, like, yo, my joint really froze. Well, if it froze, we're gonna still proceed, and it's hot, and I need my fan. All right. So where were we? I'm sorry. So the Constantine convened with bishops. He sat down with the bishops. He sat down with all the religious leaders, got all the text writings from whoever, and sat down and said, how do we create a religion? Remember, he's a non-believer, unbaptized, could care less. He wanted to know, how can we take this ideology and make it the religious foundation of the world? Okay? This is where Islam comes from. This is where Judaism comes from. This is where Christianity comes from. You guys go ahead and listen to the make-believe stories. That's for you. I'm not here to argue with that, because here we are in 2026. All this evidence is coming out where people is like, yo, son, everything has been a lie. So if you know everything is a lie, why are you picking and choosing what to be true and what not? Right? Major dispute existed concerning Jesus and his relationship with God. So people, like I said, the story of Jesus is not what you really think it is. The story of Jesus, first and foremost, was taken from every other religious writers, mainly from Egypt. In fact, there's a book out right now called The 13 Saviors Before Jesus. Like, you can, hold on, let me see if I could pull this up for y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up for y'all. My bad, guys. Let's see if I can. Let's see if this book gonna pull up. Look. Okay. You can really get this book right now in real time. Don't just listen to me, please. Don't listen to me. I'm just, what they're gonna tell you is, he Jones is just an angry, bitter, whatever. Look, you can get this book for $10 right now on Amazon. $10. $10 right now. Okay. This is another book you should get if you would like to know where the story of Jesus come from. This is another book you should get. This is the book I'm currently reading right now. This is why I come on here so adamant, so confident. Okay? You notice that all these other books, and I know I'm getting off topic, but you notice that all these other books, look, 88, 277, there's 4,480 people with this book right here. Okay? This is the ancestors working. This is not Junes doing this. I'm telling you, listen, man, I'm telling you guys this without a shot of a doubt that everything that you have been told has been a lie. Okay? Ethiopia, Egypt, the Mesopotamia, all of that was taken over by two races of people. Two. The Asians, okay, and the Europeans. The word Egypt comes from Europeans. They call it the land of Cush or Kemet. That's the name. That's the original name of so-called Egypt. I'm saying Egypt for layman's terms because, we got to say things to all people, the things that people are able to understand. Okay? All right? The Nicene Creed emerged from the council. Christianity becomes increasingly tied to Roman imperial institutions. Now, let me ask you this. If the doctrine was already completely settled, why were churches authorized fighting over fundamental questions about Jesus centuries later? Why? Because the story of Jesus never existed. Jesus never existed. Jesus, how about I tell you this? Some of you guys are going to be upset when I say this, but Jesus is Lucifer. He tells you that in the Bible. First and foremost, Jesus tells you that I come in the volume of the book, from beginning to the end. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 12, Jesus is asked, or should I say Lucifer, how is thou fallen from the sky, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How did you come and weaken the nation? He said he was going to be like the Most High. He also told you he was going to have a seat upon the north. Hold on. Because sometimes you gotta give it. Sometimes you gotta give it to the people where they can understand it. He said he was gonna be on the side of the north. Let's go to images. It won't let me click it. Oh, it's right here. So this is the world map. Okay. So you got north, south, east, west. He said he was gonna be on the side of the north, on the east. Okay. So this little area right here. Who's calling me, bro? My bad, guys. So he said he was gonna be on the side of the north. Okay. Now, before I do that, let me pull up the Bible. Hold on. I know I'm getting off task, but I love, you know, putting things in its proper perspective because you guys be bugging. And I don't like you guys bugging. I really don't. Because a lot of we're living in we're living in the age of information, right? Everybody wants receipts. Doesn't Jesus go up and down into heaven? It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" That's all you need to see. Son of the morning. No man gets closer to the Father. He shines bright, hotter than the sun, son of the morning. That's what morning do, right? When the morning cracks, you can't really look in the sky too long. Anyway, let's continue, right? It says, "How art thou cut down to the ground, which weaken the nations?" You ever notice that every nation has become weak? In fact, look at what's going on in the world right now. You telling me we're living in a society filled with warriors? How did God created warriors become so weak? Because you was given a religion. You was given God, Allah, Yahweh. Let me say that again. You was given God, Allah, and Yahweh. When you take each letter from those religions, from those things I just mentioned, what does it spell? God, G, Allah, A, Yahweh, Y. Oh my G's. Now that explains why you guys is so emotional. Okay, don't worry. Remember, every single person right now, whether you melanated or European, you are at your weakest of weak. You thinking that you're strong. Listen, anytime you feel down, what they tell you to do, put your faith in Jesus. Pray about it, right? Pray, be prayed upon, stay weak psychologically, belief, be less of who you are. Come on. Anyway, we're gonna continue. Okay? Okay? "For thou said in thy heart, I will ascend into the heavens. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit upon the mountain of all the congregations in the side of the north." All the congregations goes and pay homage to Jesus, who told you he's from that area that's in the north. When you go into the map, can we go into the map? Right? This is where he's at, right? That's north. Everything else, all the believers is on the outskirts. Brazil, these are south. Nothing ties back to, nothing goes back to anything other than what he said he was going to do. Look, side on the north, south, west. You got the Australians. The only people, remember, these people got their own religions. China not following that. Okay? The Mongolians are not following that. Okay? Russia and these niggas are the same people. But Russia, once upon a time, was full of Mongolians and Chinese. Okay? After Constantine and Caesar and Alexander, they invaded and they took over. Okay? But that's another topic in itself. Don't worry, don't worry. You guys are gonna eat this barbecue chicken today. You're gonna eat it and you're gonna love it. Okay? He said, I will ascend above the height of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. When did anybody see the devil as God? The devil didn't weaken no nation. The devil ain't done nothing to any. Listen, if you want to read the Bible thoroughly, the Bible tells you the devil ain't done nothing to absolutely no one. The only thing the devil can do is tempt you. He can't weaken you. He can tempt you. He can make you do things. We're going according to what the Bible says. But that's not what this says. This says he going to ascend himself and be like the Most High. Who gets praised like the Most High? Who? It's not the devil. It's not Lucifer. It's Jesus. You know why? Because Jesus is who he is. Listen, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. Remember he told you he got the keys to heaven and the hell? Remember he told you that? Remember he told you that. He got the keys to heaven and hell. Look, right here. Okay? This is not me saying this, guys. I'm showing you this in real time. Brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. Remember? He went down into hell and then supposedly made all the people that was in hell go up and warn the family and tell you that Jesus is real. Huh? That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Remember he went down and opened the doors of his I can't make this shit. But anyway, hold on. Because I know you guys are like, yo, so what's the point? Okay, what's the point? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you. Hold on. How do we go back? How do we go back? There, where's the there we go. I'm about to say how do we go back? Now that was in the Old Testament, right? Remember, he said he comes in the volume of the book. I want you guys to remember that. We're gonna go to the book of Revelations. We're gonna go to the book of Revelations, and the very last, I repeat, the very last chapter. The nigga waited till the end of the book to reveal himself again. Check this out. Yo, man, where my man Cal at, man? Yo, Cal, man, where you at, bro? Where you at? The final message. Yo, did you guys see that? Now read this, people. Read this. Read this. What does it say? It says, Jesus have sent my angels to testify unto you. You know the demons, the fallen, right? These things into the churches. All the churches. You ever notice that prior to Jesus, when Jesus was alive, there was no praising of him, right? There was no statues. There was no church. There was no Bible with his name written all throughout. None of these things existed, right? But he's telling you what is going to happen. It says, Jesus sent my angels to testify unto you. These things in the churches, I am the root. You see this? I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. Now, you take morning star, right? We're going to copy it. And we're going to put that. Hold on, see. Always doing some nonsense. We're going to put that. Let's see how many times Morning Star pops up, shall we? Ah, Revelations chapter 2, verse 18. And I will give him the morning star. So the morning star only appears in the Bible, quote unquote, 4 times. And we know the other time exactly is because he is the devil. Jesus is not your savior. He's not your redeemer. He's not your healer. He's not giving you superpowers. He's not giving you nothing. The only thing he's giving you was a sit still doctrine. Sit down, shut up, and believe. And if you don't believe, you're going to be sent to the pits of hell. What is the pits of hell? You're going to be going through hell in real time. Because Jesus and his foundation is the orchestration of this entire place called the world. And in order for you to be successful, prominent, you have to believe in these ideologies. When you denounce these ideologies, they then put curses upon you. Okay? Like, for example, the Pope and his enslavement. Okay? The Doom Diversus. Okay? This is one of the major receipts. The papal authority, the papal bull, the Bible, the PayPal authorized supports Portuguese Christian expansion, authorizing, including attacking Pacific Muslims, pagans, and other enemies. That's what they told you. Because what you don't know is, before Christians invaded and started capturing Africans, the Islam was already there doing it. Oh yeah. Oh, can we pull this up? Hold on, let me see. Let me pull this up for you guys. Oh no, that's not what I want. Hold on. Let me pull this up for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull it up. Don't worry. We're gonna be here 4 minutes alive. Y'all be alright. Get some cold, get some nice cold drinks, you know. Get something you can sip on. And come join the show. Okay? Come join the show. Okay? Come join the show. You see him? This is the man. This is the man that gave the green light for your enslavement, people. Okay? You guys don't even understand the word saint is synonymous with Satan. You guys don't even know that the word saint is synonymous with Satan. But don't worry. You'll get it one day. Don't worry. It says in the 1400s, you know what? I'm gonna let the computer. I'm a listen. I got the top-notch Mac over here. You heard?
In the 1400s, the Catholic Church had governmental powers in cooperation with the civil governments of countries like Spain and Portugal. The Catholic Church issued rulings, known as papal bulls, that dictated status, limited freedom, and permitted the confiscation of land and people in places Catholic nations colonized. Dum Diversas, issued in 1452 by Pope Nicholas V, granted Portugal full and free permission to invade, search out, capture, and subjugate the Saracens and pagans and any other unbelievers and enemies of Christ wherever they may be, as well as their kingdoms, duchies, counties, principalities, and other property, and to reduce their persons into perpetual servitude. Combined with the Romanus Pontifex of 1455, which asserted Portugal's rights to territories it discovered along the western African coast. The Intercedere of 1456 set Portugal up as a powerhouse of the slave trade. By 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas gave Spain the sole right to go forth and conquer land and people in the western Atlantic world, establishing colonies as well as converting and enslaving indigenous people. It also reiterated and limited Portugal's activities in Western Africa, enacted with the intent to spread the Catholic faith and engage in the gold trade, colonization, paired with race-based slavery and commercial desires generated significant profit for the Church, Portugal, and Spain. Other European nation-states entered the slave trade throughout the 1500s, as the different countries competed for wealth and geopolitical power gained through the model of colonization, slavery, and a plantation economy. Priests stationed in churches embedded in slave forts on the western African coast forcibly baptized captive African people before sending them to a life of enslavement.
So before you was enslaved, they yo. So before you was enslaved, people, you had to get baptized. You know why they needed you to be enslaved? You guys don't know what baptism is. You guys don't know what the power of water is and what the submerging of that, like what comes along with that. You guys really don't know. You guys know that it's a universal spiritual thing that you do, right? You know we're made of water. Our body is about 80%, 75, 80% water. When you submerge yourself in the name of whatever they're telling you, you know that you lose yourself. You end up not being not being you anymore. Anybody that's been baptized can contest to this. Anybody, if you've been baptized once, twice, 3 times the lady, you know what I'm saying to be factual. You know without a shot of a doubt that once you got out that water, you felt like a totally different person. And they did that to you before your enslavement. Now you must ask yourself why. Because when you baptize to this ideology, you convert, right? You're converting, or you're giving yourself up, or you're creating a contract to their belief system, to their spiritual thing. Okay? That's what you do. You're giving yourself up. You're having a covenant. That's why they love to use that word. And they was never lying when they said that. You're having a covenant with their legion of doom. Oh, yeah. You didn't know what real legion is? Religion, real legion is? Yeah. Right? That's why when you come into these institutions now, right? Because now they got people all free 99, right? They done got the world completely under their control. That's the only reason why slavery was abolished, because they got everybody right where they want them. If niggas was still fighting and still claiming and doing this, they would be no mother effing freedom. Everybody would still be enslaved. In fact, because the world is waking up, listen to me. Because the world is waking up, melanated people are tapping into the African spirituality. Melanated people are walking away from these churches. Melanated people are putting down these God, Allah, Yahweh. They're putting down the gay books. They're putting it down. They're connecting. They lighting up stages. You seeing Europeans trying to learn African spirituality, even though they could never connect, but they're trying. They're telling the world That we're no longer subjecting ourselves to this ideology. And now you see what's going on in the world. Listen, America will only be great when the niggas is enslaved. The cost of living gone up, food gone up. They're making it to the point where you have to go beg your master for food and shelter. Same way of the ways of old. There's nothing new under the sun. Now, how does a religion supposedly based upon love be connected to the conquests and the enslavements of non-Christians? That's the question for you guys. This is not for me. You got to ask yourself that question. How does a real religion supposedly be based on love? God loves everybody. That's what I hear now. God loves everybody. Repent. It's going to be the kingdom. And when he comes, it's going to be glorious. Glorious how? Where? Who? What? When? Where? Who? Glorious how? If this word was so potent and so real, then what was the purpose of the conquest? What was the purpose of the papal being instituted by the Pope? What was the purpose of that? If we are God's children, his voice should instantly connect. Huh? Huh? Let's talk about Charles C. Jones. For those that don't know who Charles C. Jones is, I'm going to show you. I don't know who that is. Charles C. Jones. You see, you see this? They gotta you gotta go extra hard because they try to hide this intel. But don't worry, I got you. And you guys should get this. You guys should buy the book too. Huh? Hmm? Look, documented. You can find this exact book. You can find it in the Library of Congress.gov. Why is this book in the Library of Congress? Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Why is that book in the Library of Congress? Right? Historical sketch of the religious instructions of the Negroes from the first introduction into the country in 1620 to the year 1842, divided into 3 periods. Okay? These are the 3 periods. I'm gonna let the computer read it because we don't want to butcher anything here, guys. Listen carefully.
The first period, from their introduction in 1620 to the first census in 1790, a period of 170 years. 1. Account of the introduction of Negroes into the colonies under the government of Great Britain. 2. Estimated Negro population of the colonies at the Declaration of Independence and census of 1790. 3. Efforts for their religious instruction, both in Great Britain and America, year by year, during this period. 6. The second period, from the first census in 1790 to 1820, a period of 30 years, year by year. 47. The third period, from 1820 to 1842, a period of 22 years, year by year. 65. 1. Efforts year by year, manuals of instruction. 65. 2. Action of ecclesiastical bodies and of different denominations of Christians. 89.3. This period, a period of revival as to this particular duty throughout the southern states. 96.4. General observations and conclusion of historical sketch. 99.
Okay, that's just the first. You're not even going through the whole thing. I want you guys to see this. Okay, the disadvantage to encounter and prosecuting an inquiry into the moral and religious conditions of the Negro in the United States. The first disadvantage. So for you guys that's talking all, oh yeah, man, we came here, we was doing all of the singing, the kumbaya, my lord, we was doing that, the Negro spiritual, my nigga, please, y'all wasn't doing nothing. The minute you niggas got off the ship, them niggas had something in store for you. The minute you got off the ship, it has something in store for you. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? Huh? The religious instruction of the Negroes in the United States. Now we're in American slavery. Jones is openly discussing the Christian instructions of the melanated people. Then in his 1847 suggestions on the religious instruction of the Negro, right, in southern states, look at what he proposed. This is what he says. He said, slave owners involved in religious instructions. Bible reading on plantations. Plantations had Bible school, okay? Catechism for enslaved children. They had stuff for the children. This is why every year they got the Easter, they got the Christmas, they got everything, and they got the shining lights, the food, the clothes. Man, when I read that book, bro, when I tell you that was part of the first steps of me deconstructing, I said, you know what? Yeah, all of this is a dub. Okay? They had ministers. He taught his children. His children was the first ministers. I'm gonna give you some barbecue chicken right now. I'm gonna feed you some barbecue chicken. Do you know that when the slaves came off the shores of Africa into what you call the America, do you know that the plantation owners rejected this ideology? He was like, yo, what? They're not worth our religion. Let me say that again. They're not worth our religion. You don't need to teach them. But all the rebellions and stuff like that, they had to be like, you know what? Maybe we need to sit down and talk to this man. Because these niggas kept fighting. They was not giving up. You guys keep believing this story that, they did one thing and then there was thousands of rebellions. Thousands of people was dying. Thousands of plantation owners lost their children. What the heck you think the Willie Lynch made it here for? What the heck you think that was about? Why you think they're gruesome and what they done to melanated people? Why you think it was so severe? Because they was trying to figure out, how do we calm these niggas down? We was raping their women. We was violating their children. We was cutting body parts. We was cutting hands off. We was doing everything, and yet these niggas was still rebelling. What the heck is going on? We sick dogs. We did everything. We lynched them. We burnt them alive. Some of these niggas, man, when you read the story, guys, some of these people was getting ready to be lynched, hanging, smiling. And their mind is like, man, I'm off this. Can you imagine getting ready to clock out, man? I'm out of here. F this. I ain't doing this. That's how it was, people. Okay? That's how it was. They was teaching. They had to teach them. And once the people started getting indoctrinated, and like I said, the catechism was for the children. They was after the children because they knew, like the Bible says, you can't put new wines in old bottles. They can't put this new doctrine And people that already know their African spirituality, you have to place it upon the children. And how did they get the children? Food, clothes. They used to do this every Sunday. Like literally every Sunday. That's why everybody on Sunday psychologically want to rest. Even listen, even if you don't even work 9 to 5 every day, when Sunday comes, something in your body makes you want to rest. Why? Because of this right here. So, and this is a generational mentality. You understand me? You understand? They used to see the children. The children was, working, and they said, listen, you guys can get the day off. And the mothers and fathers were only given the day off if, and I repeat, if they allowed their children to participate in their Sunday service. Who would not want a day off working 900 hours? And then they started, the children was coming back eating, their children coming back being fed, their children is growing up and say, man, Jesus is really not that bad. These people are not that bad. Look, they're giving us food. God said to love everybody. And the mothers and the fathers slowly by time started converting and accepting. And then when they died off, those children that was being fed this thing, they said, when I have children, y'all going to church on Sunday. And that's how the ideology of Christianity started making its way to melanated people. Wake the F up. Huh? Huh? Prove me wrong. Please. I beg for you to prove me wrong. I beg for you to tell me I'm capping. I beg for you. Prove me wrong. None of you niggas can ever prove me wrong. Every time you guys say something, every time you guys put in your belief, every time you guys say I'm unlearned, I don't know what I'm talking about, I kindly say one thing and one thing only. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's the same aspect they doing now. Why you think when your child is born, they require them to be baptized? You can't show me nowhere in the Bible where a newborn baby, 2-3 months old, was submerged in water in the name of Jesus Christ. I'll wait for it. If any one of you guys can find me that in the Bible, I'll give you $1,000 cash. You want me to go pull it out the safe for you? Huh? I give it to you. I'll wait for it. Because none of you guys will be able to do so. Because these are rituals. These are covenants. This is why they want you to call your children kids. You must sacrifice your child to Moloch, to the Papa Bull, to the Baal. Baal, remember Baal? Baal worship? Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? Huh? Jones even argued that religious instructions relate to the what? The peace, the order, and the prosperity of our southern countries. That was his only focus, was to keep order within the South because there was too much rebellion going on. And that's in their documentations. This is not my interpretation. You can go find it your damn self. I'm just here to lay the jackhammer and give you guys the navigation. Go rent this book out. You can download it. You can rent it. Go rent it out and read it. Tell me what you get. Tell me what you get out of it. So why did the enslaved, right? Why did the enslavers need to control the religious education of the enslaved? This is the word of God. This is Jesus, right? For you dumb individuals that's talking about we was enslaved because of disobedience. Disobedient to what, my nigga? How can you be disobedient to something you have no understanding of? We never knew what keeping the commandments was until the interactions of Europeans. There was no, listen, the commandments, like I told you guys before, the entire Abrahamic religion is a copy and paste from Kemet. You see how you see how Kemet had the 41 laws of Ma'at? Them niggas gave you the 41 laws. Look, Ma'at, Moses, okay? They gave you the 10 commandments of Moses. The commandments wasn't given unto David, wasn't given unto Abram, wasn't given unto Isaac, wasn't given unto Jacob. That shit was given unto Moses. Why couldn't they give them laws to Abram? Isn't Abram his friend? Wasn't Abram the one that he chose? So why he had to wait generations after generations to then give the story to Moses, who was raised out of Egypt? I mean, damn, Jones, how can these people not put pieces together? 1 + 1 must equal 2. If it's not 2, then somebody's lying to you. Why was Jesus once he was born, he had to go to Egypt? Now, when you are in Egypt, you guys had children. You once was a child once. When did you start articulating and putting things together? By the time you was 3? So by the time you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you gain enough knowledge and wisdom to go back to wherever you need to go back to and sit down amongst the elders and say, yeah, man, I know this. How does this little nigga know? Because this little nigga was in Egypt. Can't make this stuff up. Right? Now back to Jesus. Let's focus on Jesus. Show you that this story of Jesus, Zeus, goes back to what? Lucifer, right? The morning star. How is that falling from the sky? Lucifer. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna put an end to all of this today, guys. Let's go deal with Jesus now. Hold on. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. We're gonna get to Jesus, but let me finish. Let me show you what Charles C. Jones was writing. Okay? Again, this is for those that says Junior speaking, out his ass. You don't know what he's talking about. Let me see. Let's just read this one right here. Let's see if I could. Let's see if we could get this right here. Check this out.
In March last, a few persons, considering the importance of a general and efficient attention to the religious instruction of our Negroes, met in conference on the subject, and believing that the end would be essentially promoted by collecting and diffusing accurate information respecting the nature, extent, and results of the efforts known and understood to have been in progress. They addressed a circular to a considerable number of gentlemen interested in planting in all parts of our state, requesting them to attend a meeting in Charleston on the 13th of May in order to interchange information and opinions and to consult upon the proper use to be made of the facts which might thus be obtained. With a view to care and definiteness, they were also requested to furnish, in writing if convenient, and if not, orally, replies to certain inquiries contained in the circular.
Hold on. I'm gonna read some more. Hold on. I'm gonna read some more. Because again, because you guys be saying Junior be wildin', right? Junes don't know what he talking about, right? I want you guys to know that once upon a time, I used to really teach.
Although there is reason to believe that from a want of information of the nearest post offices to the parties addressed many of these circulars were not received or were received too late. The proposed meeting was respectably attended and was continued by adjournments on the 13th, 14th, and May 15th. The occasion proved to be one of deep interest. Many letters were received and read, and several gentlemen communicated verbally their information and views, which were afterwards reduced to writing. These letters and statements were referred to a committee of 5 to be condensed into a report, with such other information as they might possess or obtain on the subject, to be published with an address by a standing committee of 10, appointed to carry out the resolutions of the meeting. The committee of 5 having performed the duty assigned them, the standing committee have now the pleasure of placing before the public their report, and of commending it earnestly to general and careful perusal. It proffers information upon a subject of the highest interest, both to masters and slaves, in a religious view, and of obvious relation to the character, comfort, efficiency, and management of our Negro population. It contains, first, extracts from 44 letters received in reply to the circular, from 20 different districts and parishes of this state, all from persons of high respectability, to which are added communications from 2 gentlemen of Georgia, who on account of their known interest in the subject, and their long-continued personal exertions in this department of benevolence, were invited to take part in our deliberations, and to furnish their views. 2 DLY. Extracts from 17 letters, received by a member of the committee from persons resident in 8 of the other slave-holding states, and 3 DLY. Notices of the action of ecclesiastical bodies. The letters under the first head are, for the most part, details of the personal experience and observation of the 5 writers, given with all the freedom and candor appropriate to the occasion. Those under the second head afford L.
Now, there's no need for me to read this, but again, you guys can just rent this book out, buy it, and do your own 1 or 2s. This will explain everything that I've been saying, right? And for those that's claiming to be Hebrew Israelites, Bantunites, whatever you want to call it, people, please, I beg you, this shit is a lie, bro. It is a lie. And the more you try to associate it with black, the more you guys look like buffoons, right? Because if it associates with black, then there should be black people able to identify, right? Identify and also give pure confirmation that this shit is for real. I would not have to solely depend on the ideologies of Europeans to receive anything that is black. That doesn't make sense. If I wanted to know about Alexander, I would not go to an African man to tell me about Alexander, even if his experience was with Alexander. Okay? I would not go speak to the children of Hannibal to tell me about Alexander. I would need to speak to Alexander people, relatives, family, blood type, etc. You know why? Because the story is a little bit more accurate when it's foretold by their own. When it's told by outside sources, you already know it's gonna be iffy. But when you try to associate it with melanated and say Jesus is black, I'm like, oh my nigga, we're not trying to hear none of that. Okay? He's not. Oh, look, in the Bible it tells you, which Bible? The one that's been altered 500 times. The book of Revelations has been taken out how many times? In fact, now I just showed you that in the last page of the Bible, in the book of Revelations, he told you that he's Lucifer. So you telling me that we're giving praise and honor to Lucifer? That's our God? So what are we? So then we the demons. Okay. Okay. So let's get to the book of Matthews, man. Was it not? Hold on. Oh, I'm about to say, what the heck is my? Let's get to the book of Matthews. Okay, where's the book of Matthews? Oh, it's over here. Let me grab it over here first. We finished dealing with Jesus, right? Now we're gonna go to Matthews, right? In Matthew 17, verse 20. Should I pull it up for you guys? Because I know you guys be wanting, y'all be wanting your hands held while, it's just crazy, but okay. But okay. Y'all be wanting your hands held. No problem. I'm gonna hold your hands today. Just for today. If you following me, you've been following me for a long period of time, you guys know I do this with my eyes closed. I'm gonna hold you guys' hands today because it's been a while since I've been on. I didn't come on Saturday, as you guys can see. It says, what does Matthew 17, verse 20 says? And Jesus, can we correct it and say Lucifer? Cool. And Lucifer said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence their yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. That's what Lucifer said. Now, the word faith, right? The word faith is only to believe in something that is fake. That's what faith is. Okay? You have to have faith. You know why you guys can't move nothing? Because you can't move something into something that is not real. Because this man that told you this, it's not real. Name one person that you know personally, and I want you guys to show me a devoted Christian, a devoted Catholic, a devoted believer in Jesus that moved anything. Move. Listen, if you could move mountains, just ask yourself this question. If you was able to move mountains, right? You don't think you would have had the power to remove yourself out of slavery? You don't think you would be able to remove yourself out of slavery if you could remove mountains? And you really think that if something this powerful could do such things, you telling me Constantine, Charles C. Jones would have gave you this book? You telling me they would have gave you this book and told you that this book is all you need. If you believe, you shall be set free. Nothing shall be impossible unto you. But it seems impossible because I've yet to see anybody move anything. John chapter 8, verse 51 says, he shall never see death. It says, people follow Jesus. What does Jesus mean? You should never see death. So why is everybody dying? And if you should never see death and you are a follower of Jesus and the person transitioned, then why is everybody crying? Huh? Why? Some standing in a place of confusion right now. You guys are like confused. I know you're standing there like, damn, he does make a point. You know I make a point. You know what I'm saying is to be accurate. But your indoctrination, your belief is forcing you to disengage. Say, nah, we not listening to him, bro. I can't listen to that, bro. He's speaking blasphemy. Because what I'm saying is triggering something. It's getting you agitated. It's not you that I'm agitating. Listen, people, look, let me hold on. We're gonna get back to this. But I gotta show my face. Look, people, check this out. It's not you that I'm agitating. It's the spirit that came with the real legions that's being mad. How dare this nigger come on here and act like I don't have the power? That's not you. A part of you is like, damn, that felt good. Be honest. Be honest. A part of you is like, yeah, that shit feel good. But then the demon comes. The legions of doom comes and it gets into your mind. It attacks your dopamine. It says, what's wrong with you? Don't you listen to him? He's not valid. He didn't go to our schools. He didn't learn from our professors. That's why you shouldn't. And then you guys say, yes, Jesus is King, my Lord and Savior. You better repent. Because look, the demon end up taking control over you. Remember what I told you. He that controls the mind controls the spine. And your spine got all you niggas being left behind. Huh? Matthew 16 verse 28 says, some standing there wouldn't taste death before seeing the Son of Man coming. That's him telling you that. All of you guys have died and nobody has arrived. Let me ask ChatGPT a question. Let me ask ChatGPT a question. Let me go back. Quick question. Watch this. I asked ChatGPT, when did Jesus live and die? At what year? Right? Check this out. It says his birth usually estimated around 6 to 4 BCE. Okay? Before Caucasian invasion. Okay? Or before Caucasian enslavement. Okay? That's BCE. I don't give a damn about nothing. Anything that you guys are saying is irrelevant because this is the facts. Okay? Okay? Public ministry, roughly 27 to 30 CE. Death, let me show you how it goes back to Freemasonry. Check this out. Death/crucifixion usually estimated around 30 CE or 33 CE. You know the number 33. You know the number 33. Okay? It says, so for your life, the safest statement is Jesus is traditionally placed in the early 1st century CE, with the crucifixion generally dated around 30 to 33 CE. And yes, this means Nicaea was 325 CE, was roughly 292 to 295 years after the traditional estimated crucifixion. Okay, cool. Now, don't worry, I'm gonna show you all of this. Because you gotta be thinking that I be talking, Junes don't know what he's talking about. So It says if Jesus died around 30 CE to 2026, it's about 1,996 years. I want you guys to pay attention. Let me say that again because maybe you guys are sleeping. Wake up and smell the Kool-Aid. It's beautiful outside. It says if Jesus died around 30 CE to 2026, it's about 1,996. It says if Jesus died around 33 CE to 2026, it's about 993 years. Okay? We are living in 2026. The Agenda 2030 is in what year? 2030, right? So that means in 2030, it should literally be 2,000 years. So by 2031, right? If we are all still here, which I hope you guys are, especially if you didn't, if you took that, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, for those that is alive to see 2030 and 2031 and so on, I want to know if 2031 shows up and yet nobody arrives and appears, then what? Are you going to denounce this faith? Are you going to start seeking your indigenous beliefs? This is even go for you Europeans. See, you Europeans don't even understand your origin goes back to the Celtic gods. Yes, the Celtic gods is European. Your worship is that. Okay? Your belief system has been suppressed. Your belief system has been suppressed through Christianity. Because Christianity told you that anything outside of Jesus is pagan, and they purposely put pagan shit in there. That's what the Council of Nicaea was, to create a story that was going to please everyone, not everyone, just the Europeans. Okay? That's why they told you Jesus died in December 25th. You guys used to practice that. Huh? You see, Jesus is synonymous with Santa Claus? Where does Santa Claus come from? I'll wait for it. Don't worry about it. Okay? How can we please these people and minimize? Remember, I read that in the beginning? Minimize the casualties, the drama, because they needed control of the Europeans. Yes, no disrespect to Europeans. But prior to all of that, you guys were savages. That's where the salvation comes from. It comes for the salvaged people, the Slavic people. That's not us. We're not that. Y'all flip the script after the positions have changed. You turned us into the salvaged believers. Okay? That's why when you see the image of Jesus, you guys are too slow to understand. When you see the image of Jesus, Jesus is the appearance of what? A barbarian. Right? A Viking. You put one of them fur things on Jesus, he looked just like a Viking, looked just like a barbarian. So they created that image to please y'all. And after they got control over you, they end up going into Africa, seeing all the resources. They're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna call this diamonds. People in Africa used to see that thing like glass, like like broken glass on the floor. You niggas made that a luxury. That's what happened. And they went to the Pope, and the Pope gave them the green light. All in the name of Jesus, Lucifer. Okay? All right? Now, Matthew's 24, verse 34 says, this generation shall not pass. Which generation? Let's go to that. Let's go to that. Okay? Can we go to that? I hope you guys is enjoying this live. I hope you guys are enjoying this live. It is my pleasure to give you this barbecue chicken. It was my pleasure. It said, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. What is being fulfilled? The glorious return. What else? What else? The perilous times. What else? Signs of his return. Come on. Not gonna read this. You guys should know this. Let's go. Let's go to John. Hold on. Let's go to John 14. Where it's at? Let's go to John 14. Listen, if you guys know where we going, read along. Okay. Verse 13. What does it say, guys? And it says, and whosoever shall ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do. Okay. It says that if we ask in his name, it shall be done. Okay. So let me start off by saying, I would like to be free. Jesus set me free. Jesus, let my people go. Jesus, I need $10 million. You said ask. I'm asking. Hello. Maybe we all do it together. Hold on. Because it says if two or more are gathered, he's in the mix. So I need you guys to gather with me. Gather along and say it with me. Jesus, I need $10 million. I'm waiting. Let's act together and demand Jesus give us $10 million. Oh, he said not to love the things of this world. That's what he said, guys. He said, love not the things of this world. All right, cool, fine. Not gonna love it. But I do love my freedom. So can you set me free? Hey. So hey. Somebody get Jesus on the hotline, please. He said, ask. Anything you shall ask in his Father's name, it shall be done. I want freedom. I want freedom. I want out. I want out of the matrix. I want out of the fugazi. I want out. I want out. Mark 16, 17, and 18 says the healing and the serpent and deadly things. Where are the signs? I'm not gonna go through that. You guys, listen, you guys should already know by now that all of this is fugazi. It says nobody should physically test the poison. Okay? We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna ask to test. We just simply asking the following questions. You said if you ask in your name, everything shall be addressed. Jesus, I need $10 million. With $10 million, I can do a lot. I can fix my community. I can heal my people. I can get the best doctors. I can put children in the best schools so they can learn to be doctors, lawyers. We can establish our own army, put guns and everything, heavenly guard individuals. All of that can be done with 10 million. Give me that. You see, the real conversation is, suppose tomorrow you stop believing in Jesus is coming. Now what? See, what you need to understand is it's time for us to start educating our children. It's time for us to start breaking free from the matrix. The matrix is religion, guys. The foundation of this entire wicked ideology, everything wicked you can imagine in this world right now, goes right back to religion. Slavery, war, crusades, invasions, all of this goes back to religion. Racism, social class, this, that, all of this goes back to religion. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Huh? Our children are the future. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Okay? Teach them. But what are we teaching them? Why? How come melanated children have absolutely no understanding of African, indigenous, right? Or pure African American history? How come our melanated children don't know that? But I guarantee you, our melanated children know about Santa Claus, knows about Jesus, knows about Christopher Columbus, knows about George Washington, knows about Abraham Lincoln, but wouldn't be able to tell you anything about Ogun O'Shea. Our children knows about Moses. Our children knows about Muhammad. We know everything that these Europeans have given us, but we don't know nothing that our ancestors connect back to. Our ancestors would love the opportunity in real time to be given the green light to worship what they know, to practice what they know. But you niggas don't even want that. You guys want to worship and practice whatever these people tell you. Oh, it started in the Bantu. South Africa is the Holy Land. Okay, got you. Roger that. But why isn't the lands written in Isikosa? Because I know Mambri is not an Isikosa name. I know that's German, European. You know the English language come from Germany. Germany is the house or the homes of sorcerers. You guys are aware of this, right? You guys are aware of this, right? The English language did not originate in England. That is a lie. The English language originated, or should I say was created in Germany. Just like all your doctors, your scientists, the people that is glorified today, like Albert Einstein, these are all Germans. They gave you that story that they had to flee persecution. Persecute what? It wasn't an agenda. I'm going to talk about that. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about that on the podcast. On YouTube. I'm going to have to send that shit to Rumble. Huh? So it's time for us to re-educate our children. It's time for us to rebuild our community. If I had the power, the first thing that I would do, right? The very first thing that I would do, I would remove every Abrahamic institution throughout the entire community. That means your mosques, that means your temples, your synagogues, that means your church. All that shit would have been destroyed. And I would have made everybody put C4s, right? The same way they take down big ass buildings, that's the same way I would want all those buildings to be taken down. I want it to be such a loud boom that when people come outside, they're gonna say, yo, what the heck just happened? That's what I would do. Okay? And then the next thing was strengthening them. putting them in a position to be warriors. You see, religion takes that away from you. Religion tells you to be docile, be soft, endure, take it on the cheek, give the other cheek. He that endureth till the end shall be saved. Only the meek shall inherit the kingdom. I can go on and on and on. And you're wondering why we're here right now in 2026, why I gotta come out and talk to you guys and tell you guys to wake the F up. It's time for us to start gaining back economic control. Yeah. This is why they're going digital, guys. Listen, everything is going the way that it's going for one reason and one reason only. They do not want the melanated people, the indigenous rulers of the world, to be in position to not only fight back, but be in a position to connect back to the solar universe, to be in position to take back the rightful heirs. When you read the deconstruction of read the deconstruction of the Black civilization. Oh my geez. Read it and you're gonna understand what I'm saying. It's gonna explain everything you see right now. Everything. In real time. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Right? We gotta organize, restructure our community. These little boys and these little girls should not be wasting their brain and their youth on these devices. They should not be doing dances to be seen. Our children should be out learning how to combat, learning how to farm, learning how to read and write and articulate and conversate, learning how to be just men and women. That's what our children should be learning. And when you need answers, instead of putting it in Jesus' hands, put it into your hands. Put it in your hands. And the real question that I want you to ask yourself, maybe you're spending way too much time asking, when is Jesus coming to save us? Huh? The question that you got to ask yourself is, when are we going to save ourselves? When are we going to protect ourselves? When are we going to be there for the children? When are we going to be there for the women? When are we going to be there for the elders? When? When? Because they're coming. They're coming. Dum 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 dum. Ice, ice, baby. They're coming. And sooner or later, the focus will not be on migrants. I want you guys to understand they are setting up the stage for you to be immune to this behavior. Why you think they're in the hood? Why you think they're in the hood? Why aren't they in the European neighborhoods? There's a lot of Europeans that are here illegally. Why aren't they over there? You see, these niggas are the new age slave catchers. Thinking that I'm lying? These are the new age slave catchers. This is the new age slave catchers. And when they catch you, they don't put you back. Listen, they don't put you back on the plane or the boat and send your ass off. Oh, no, no, no. You're going to do 3 to 6 months of servitude. You're not going to just be sitting in your jail cell waiting for your time to expire. Oh, no. They will be putting you to use because that's just what it is. We're making America great again. And these same individuals are going to be those that's going to knock in your door when you go against them, when you question them. And I'm talking about the 3 lettermen. You understand? You know what the I stand for in ICE? You should know by now. Okay? Just know it's controlled enforcement. Okay? Or controlled environment. Okay? You know what the I stand for. Okay? That's why you don't see them in their neighborhoods. That's why you don't see them in the European neighborhoods. They're making America great again. It's time to enslave these niggas because we gave them a little bit way too much freedom, way too much time for them to connect with themselves. That's why the big beautiful bill is in place. That's why in order for you to keep your Medicaid, you gotta put in at least 80 hours a month. That means you gotta work full time. 40 hours is 40 hours in a week, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gotta put in at least 80 hours, meaning you gotta be working a full-time job, 9 to 5, every day, as long as it meets the 80, yes, hours, you can receive anything that you want. Slavery has been initiated. The slave catchers has been let loose. So what are you going to do? Now, I'm gonna leave it as that. It's about to be 2 hours since I was here. I'm gonna leave it as, was Christianity our ancestors' original religion? What did the African people practice before the invasion of Christians? Huh? What actually happened at Nicaea? For those that's gonna think that Junior is wild and you don't know what he's talking about, then tell me what happened. Why did the papal authorize the enslavement of Pacific non-Christians? Why were the slave owners deliberately organizing Christian instructions? I'll wait for it. Did Jesus' promise come to fruition? Can anybody prove and justify or show any receipts of the things that Jesus said that you was going to have if you believe? Can anybody show me that? Can I take a Christian believer? Can I take this individual to the nearest children's hospital and have this person heal that child from cancer? Huh? Because we need to wake up and understand that there's no Jesus coming. Lucifer is not coming for you. Lucifer, how can Jesus come and save you when he's the one that's enslaved you? He's the one that's making sure you remain a slave. Huh? I'll wait for it. Why? When you guys find out, you let me know. Let's see what the chat has. Oh, it's a lot. God damn. Whoa, hold on. Damn. I ain't think it was gonna be this much, guys. Hold on. Let me see if I could put this on the other screen. Oh, I can. You said what? My man says, "What are you saying about South Africa?" Apologies if I didn't listen properly. Okay, what I'm saying about South Africa is that the story that you have been told that it took place in Africa, that Africa or the South Africans or the children of the individuals in the Bible is a lie. If you are from South Africa, can you tell me the names of 10 of Solomon's wives? If you are from South Africa, are you able to tell me the name of Solomon? 10, just give me 10. He has 700. Just give me names of 10. And the children, if you can. If the story took place, if the story took place, hold on, let me turn this down. If the story took place in Africa and the names and the cities are names that you can find in the Bible, tell me, when did East Coast and South Africans start speaking English and naming their African land after English? I wait for it. You guys know about Cecil Rose, right? If you from out South Africa, I'm sure they taught you about Cecil Rose. You're gonna tell me that Johannesburg is also an African name? You don't see that you don't see that they put a big ass Johannesburg. When you look into the map of South Africa, they put a big ass Johannesburg to hover the entire South Africa. That's to let you guys know that that place is run and ruled by non-Africans. You guys are so broken psychologically, mentally, spiritually, that you guys will see fellow melanated people as the problem to your land. Meanwhile, the invaders are walking amongst you, the least amount of people there, but own the mass majority of everything over there. How is that possible? And you take you taking your frustration out on the people. The people that look exactly like you is who you taking your frustration out on. He says, why do you not go meditate in the wilderness? Is there someone to have conflict with when you are meditating by yourself? No. I don't know what that means. Jesus is the only way to the Father. Yes, Jesus is the only way to the Orsinian family. You guys don't know that the movie The Godfather is about the Orsinian family? That's the God that you guys are praying to. You're not praying to no God. There's no, listen, if Jesus is the Father or God, or Jesus is the mediator between you and the Father, let me ask yourself this question. Why hasn't the Father come to you guys and spoken to you guys directly? Why haven't he? Why haven't the God of the Bible spoken to you guys one on one, face to face? Or at least let his presence be known, like, yo, Jules, I'm up here. I just want to let you know that I'm with you. I hear you. I got you. None of you niggas got that. Just like nobody moved mountains. Okay, cool. Still can't put the pieces together. Do you not know? Okay. Let's go to Matthews. Let's go to Galatians. We're gonna come back to I'm gonna come back to the chat, guys. I'm gonna come back. Give me a second. Let's go to Matthews. I said I want to go. No, excuse me. I want to go to the book of Galatians. That's where I want to go. I want to go to the book of Galatians. Okay? I don't want to hear none of that. Hold on. Hold on. What the heck is this thing at that? No, I know it's not this far down. Yeah. I think it's on 12. Yeah, where the heck is this thing is that? This is gonna really make me read this throughout the entire thing, bro. And I don't even wanna do that right now, son. I think it's 21. Oh, right here. 34. Oh, 24. Okay? It says, which things are a allegory? Let's look at what allegory means, shall we? Hmm? Are you reading this? It's as a literal device or artistic form. Okay, a allegory is a narrative or visual representation in which a character, place, or event can be interpreted to represent a meaning with moral or political significance. Okay, okay, this is not me saying this. I'm showing you guys this in real time. It says authors have used allegory throughout history in all forms of art to illustrate or convey complex ideas and concepts in ways that are what comprehensible or striking to its viewers, readers, or listeners. So this is not factual. This is not. This entire thing has been a lie to you guys, and you guys don't want to admit it. Let's see the Strongs. Let's see the Strongs.
Strong's G 238, Alegarreo, Alegarreo. Strong's G 238, Alegarreo, Alegarreo.
Alegalego. Okay. But they're not even giving you the Strongs for this word. Okay. They not even give you the word. They not even give you the Strongs for it. Why not? Why can I not get the Strong? Can I get the Strongs? Can I get the Strongs? Nope. Look, no Strongs. Let's click tools. Let's see what they give me. Let's see what they give me. Oh. Allegory. Okay, we're making progress. I don't know what this is. This in a whole different language. I am not even trying to read this. But those that can read it, to speak allegorically or in a figure. So it's not even, they're telling you, Paul been telling you from the gate. And for those that didn't know, and I got the books to show it, Paul is your first pope. If you didn't know, now you know. Paul is the first pope. He's not the second. He's not the third. That's why you have the Paulinian doctrine, and then you got the Jesus doctrine. You notice that all religions follow the Paulinian doctrine. The only time they follow the Jesus is when they tell you that Jesus died for the sins of the people. Because Paul is the Pope. Paul is the man that had access to every church, whether it was in the north, the south, the east, the west. And mind you, people, hold on, let me show my face here. Hold on, let me show my face because I got to speak to the people. Mind you, Paul never walked with Jesus, not one time. In fact, Paul was murdering those that followed Jesus. Same way the Pope Nicholas wrote in the decree to murder anybody that didn't follow Jesus. You don't see the correlation? Are you guys still sleeping under the rock? I mean, listen. Hold on. Let me show you something. Hold on. Give me a second.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
My bad, guys. Hold on. Let me put this on the screen. Let me see. Can you see that? Show it one more time, just for you guys. Now, I don't know if they still got this. Like I said, they've been taking down a lot of like phenomenal, information. This is why they want everything to go digital. This is why they're getting rid of physical copies, because anything digital, they can alter, they can change. And then you would never have the complete documentations of these things, which is intentional. Okay? I can't... let me show you. Hold on. One more time. Look.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
My bad. I was trying to pull out my hard drive, but obviously it's all the way at the bottom, and I'm just not gonna go dig through that. But anyway, in that hard drive, countless of documentations, countless of things that I had to get scanned and saved because I knew that this day was gonna come. If you was to go look up the stories, the history of like Islam, you're not gonna find it. Like before Islam, before Allah, it was called Allah. Allah, when you do your studies, the origin of Allah can all be traced back to Egypt. Like I keep telling you guys, I don't know why you guys find it so hard to believe that all religious understanding originated in Egypt, bro. Yes, it originated in Egypt. Your medicine, your science, the structure of the world. Like, you know how the world got like institutions, hospitals, roads, cars, the whole foundations, that foundation started off in Egypt. Remember, if you look at, old history shows you these dudes used to you when you watch movies like Robin Hood and all of this, even though they had European rulers and all that, when there was no roads, niggas was riding on grass, on dirt, etc., etc. It's coming to Egypt. This is why they was warring for Egypt for years. I'm talking about a war that have been going on for thousands of years. The reason why Egypt looks like that is because of so much blood that was shed. And when blood is shed in a particular place for a long period of time, it doesn't blossom anymore. It's too much blood. It's too much. You don't know the history, bro. You understand? It was the Asians and the Europeans that was warring with the Egyptians or the Africans for thousands of years. This is before Jesus. This is before Abram. This is before Allah. This is before all of this. All this ideology that you guys have right now when it's pertaining to religion comes from Egypt. Comes from the temples of Tibet or Tabela or something. Theble. This is where they got the studies. Was one of the biggest areas of temples ever. One of the main things that they found out that the Egyptians was doing, they knew that African people was very spiritual believers, right? They needed a God, right? So when they created this ideology of a man being the interpreter between man and God, that comes from Egypt. That's where Jesus comes from. No man gets through the Father but through me. That comes from Egypt. There's no religion, especially this Abrahamic ideology, that does not go back to Egypt, bro. Nothing. I can even, matter of fact, hold on. Let me show you guys this, man. Where's my stuff, man? Hold on, son, because you know what I mean. Like, hold on. Let me show you something. Hold on, let me show you something. Cause you guys be y'all be thinking that I be and I just don't understand, like, why would you honestly think that I would be sitting here to lie to you and give you the fugazi? I ain't got no time for all that shit, my nigga. Like, for real, all jokes aside, son. And part of my language, sometimes you gotta call it for what it is, you heard? Because you guys need to understand what's going on. You guys don't know what's going on. You guys have been lied to for hundreds of years. Remember, this is passed on lies. This is not factual information that you guys are going to school to learn. You're learning what they want you to learn, so you can have a space to argue with individuals like myself and be like, yeah, man, you don't know what you're talking. Like this is what they looking forward to, bro. Hold on. See, I need to log in from the main. I gotta log in from the main page. Let me see if it's here. Everything goes back to Egypt, guys. Everything. Moses, he was a baby. Like, listen to the story. He was a baby that was the mother got pregnant, and she feared for the baby to get killed by the Egyptians. So she put the baby in the water, and it all miraculously landed in the Egyptian mother's hands. And the mother already knew who Moses' actual biological mother was, and she went to go get her and have her then raise her while claiming that this is her child. And you niggas is sitting here like, yeah, man. Like, bro. Oh, my Lord. Yo, bro. Hold on, man. Let me find this shit, man. Oh, there we go. I'm already here, bro. I don't know why you keep asking me to do this. This is what I be talking about, son. Every time I come here, it always be an issue, and then I get tight, and then I don't be wanting to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I really want to show you guys this, like, for real. Okay. I donating nothing, bro. There we go. What the heck is wrong with these people? All right, look. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, cause okay. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm just gonna give you guys this preview, and then I'm gonna gracefully bow out. All right, check this out. Okay, the ark, the name ark, like Noah's ark, the ark of the covenant. That has nothing to do with this Abrahamic ideology. This shit goes back to Egypt. This is what they painted. This is their painters, their creators. This is nothing to do with melanated people. But I'm gonna show you. First of all, right? The very word ark is a what? Egyptian word and not Hebrew at all. At all. Ark is Egyptian and not Jewish. What the Bible dictionary says. Okay? Ark, a word adopted from Egypt. I keep telling you this. Everything. And I repeat, everything goes back to Egypt. Prior to Egypt, prior to Europeans, Asians coming to Egypt, they had no understanding of any religious. They had no order. They had no structure. This is why they was warring. This is why they was beefing. This is why they was invading. This is why they was doing what they was doing. There was absolutely no order. Okay? When they came to Egypt and they see how the people in the land was civilized, they said, we need to do this. How are you able to do this? You have to then create your own religion. Okay? Okay? Ark. The word comes from Latin area, a chest or box, especially one in which secret religious objects were concealed and transported. The Greek calls such a box sister, a chest. The biblical reference to the Ark of the Covenant are translated from two different Hebrew words. Okay? They created their own version. This is theirs. Let me see if I go. This is theirs, right? This is the Egyptians. When you see this symbol right here? You see this symbol right here? What does that remind you of? Isn't that the same symbol of the Freemasonry? Oh, master builders, temples, the temple builders, the temples. There was till this day, there's not no city, country, face on this earth that had more temples than Egypt. Okay? Melanated people. Melanated people. They lightened it up. They didn't lighten this up for the Europeans. Wake up. The first people that started messing with the first people that started messing with the artwork was the Asians. You see the skin tone? You see how it looks kind of Asianish? You see it look kind of yellowish Asian? It was them. Okay? Okay? It was them. It was the Asians that was shooting off the nose and making sure everybody took off the pieces of the nose when they finally gained control over the country. It's the first thing that they did. They wanted the people to never connect yourself back to greatness. Okay? It was the Asians and the Europeans that was enslaving the Europeans, right? The salvage people. I forgot the name. Remind me. Remind me, and I'm gonna put it into the I'm gonna put it in the comments. Remind me. Somebody put, yo, remember you said what's the original slaves of the Europeans, the name of them? I'm gonna show you. They fought these people and actually won. They took down the slaves, actually took down these people. They took them down. Listen carefully, people. They took them down, and after they took them down, the so-called kings and queens said, "Now we leaving those people alone," and they put their focus solely on black people. That was the beginning. They was like, damn, because us as people, we don't have, and I'm speaking for the indigenous people of this world, we don't have a malicious heart. You can see it now, right? You will have to bring us to that level for us to do something. While Europeans, Asians, And the Arabs, they don't need much. In fact, the Arabs, check this out. The origin of the Arabs are Asians mixing with black people. That's where the dark skin come from. But if you see the hair texture, if you see the hair texture of an Arab, it's similar to an Asian. Go get an Asian person to stand next to you, get an Arab, touch their hair. Tell me what's different. Nothing. That because that's the origin. Again, you don't know. And it's not for you to know because we have been indoctrinated. We have been placed into these institutions and was being fed these lies for thousands of years. Now that these informations is coming out, that's why the AI is taking all the knowledge from these books and destroying it in the process. Okay? Let's go down. Look what the question says. You might want to ask yourself, how many other religious lies have you bought into? Everything was a lie to you. What? Remember, Indiana Jones had to go to Egypt temple to find the lost ark? He never went to Israel. All of this go back. When you see the image. That face is symbolized Asian. Yes, Asians rule Egypt for a long period of time. Yeah. Yeah. You see the outfit? You ever seen an Asian samurai? This is where the concept getting on their knees, praying and bowing. This is where it comes from. Okay? Okay? This is them creating their own religion. Mesopotamia, they took that over. Mesopotamia, when you see the Mesopotamian people, these are not melanated people. They took that whole entire upper part of Africa, they took that shit over. Okay? That's why Jesus is, I'm gonna show you how to be the fishers of men. Okay? You don't know, like I said, you guys don't know what you're worshiping. And I get it, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? You've been indoctrinated with the Fugazi. I understand it. But you need to know what's really going on. Okay? This is in real time, guys. The Pope still wears this till this day. The same Pope that, gave the green light for your enslavement. Okay? Nothing has changed. The symbol. This is a Jesuit symbol. Nothing has changed. I could click on this and you could see all of this yourself. Yes, the Exodus that shit never happened. All of it is a lie. It's a lie. Look, the Christian church say Lucifer is the devil, but that's not what the Bible reference says, right? Remember I showed you guys this earlier? Lucifer, the morning star. Okay? The New Testament does not name the devil as Lucifer, use of this name in reference to a fallen stem from the interpretation of Isaiah 14:3-20, a passage that speaks of a particular Babylonian king to whom it gave a title that refers to what in English is called the day star or morning star, as the fallen or destined to fall from the heavens or skies. 2 Peter 1 verse 19 and elsewhere, the same Latin word Lucifer is used to refer the morning star with no relation to the devil. That's what they want you to believe. Okay? Look, Lucifer, right? Heliel, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Look, translation of what? Look, this is not me saying this. Look. Look. They're telling you, look, they're telling you that it has nothing to do with the devil. But when you go down, the morning star has everything to do with Christ. Because Christ is Lucifer. The reason why they created the devils to throw you off. But Christ is Lucifer. And you don't find it crazy right underneath say martyr Egyptian? Did I not read this to you? Did I not read this to you? I, Jesus. So he's introducing himself. I, Jesus. So there's no misconstrued. I am. He's telling you I am. Remember the I am that I am. You guys remember that, right? Okay. Remember he comes in the volume of the book, right? Remember the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. Huh? Lucifer, see the morning star. Okay. Look, the true climate to this title is shown in Revelation 22, verse 16, to be the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay? So Jesus is Lucifer. Okay? The Catholic Encyclopedia, Lucifer. The name Lucifer originally descends from the planet Venus. And when you go down and you read it, it goes to who? To Jesus Christ himself. And why they gave you Saturday. Lucifer. Jesus. Okay? If you want me to click it and you man, I'll click it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's let the computer read it. For all the non-believers that be thinking I be wilding.
The name Lucifer originally denotes the planet Venus, emphasizing its brilliance. The Vulgate employs the word also for the light of the morning, Job chapter 50 verse 17, the signs of the zodiac, Job chapter 38 verse 32, and the aurora, Psalm 109 3. Metaphorically, the word is applied to the king of Babylon, Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12 as preeminent among the princes of his time, to the high priest Simon son of Onias, Ecclesiasticus 50. 6. For his surpassing virtue, to the glory of heaven, Apocalypse 2:28. By reason of his excellency, finally to Jesus Christ himself, to Peter 1:19. Apocalypse 22:16. The exalted of Holy Saturday, the true light of our spiritual life. The Syriac version and the version of Aquila derive the Hebrew noun hello from the verb yallo, to lament. St. Jerome agrees with him in Isaiah chapter 1 verse 14. It makes Lucifer the name of the principal fallen angel who must lament the loss of his original glory, bright as the morning star. In Christian tradition, this meaning of Lucifer has prevailed. The fathers maintain that Lucifer is not the proper name of the devil, but denotes only the state from which he has fallen. Petavius, De Angelis 3:4.
So that's not the proper name of the devil because Lucifer was not the devil. Lucifer is Jesus. I know you don't. Listen, guys. I know you. I know it's a tough pill to digest. I know, but you shall know the facts, and the facts shall set you free. Okay, let's go down. Okay, all of this goes back to your religion. Okay, this is Moses. Look, Moses with his magic wand. Oh, my bad. That was the staff that they turned into a snake. Yeah. You go ahead and continue believing. Okay? Jesus risen Lazarus with his magic wand. Okay? This is more images of Jesus. Okay? Okay? See the stick? Remember when Moses was walking, he had the staff and he banged it and he split, or when he hit the rock and water came out, that's the magic wand. Don't know, yeah, like I said, man, you guys don't know what you worshiping. You guys been fully invested. You guys been misindoctrinated intentionally. It's all by design. It's all by design. Nothing can be proven. Like the brother said, all of this is a myth. You can't prove it. There's no Exodus. There's no signs of etc. All of that is lies, bro. There's no Exodus of thousands of people. The man said they went in there 70 souls and came out a multitude, but there's no records. The Egyptians kept records for everything. Everything, just like the Romans kept records for everything. They're trying to make you seem like these people are just some barbaric weirdos that don't know nothing, but yet these niggas got accounts for everything that they do. Every person that got in prison, all of that. If you go into their museums, you could see these things in real time. And I'm sure there's websites and places where you can gather all this information. Okay? Okay? This is Moses. Go on Google Jesus with magic wand. All of these things is there for you. All of these things is there for you. Remember what I told you? English is a Western German language. It's not. That shit did not come from no England. Stop letting these people feed you the lies. Just like there was no revolutionary war with England. These shits is lies. None of these shits happened. How would they be in war with England, but yet England is, well, at the time was the primary owners of England, of America? How? You know, England was the person that owned the nonprofit of America. How? Make it make sense. Okay? English is a Western German language. So in German, that things that rise each morning is spelled S-O-N, not S-U-N. And the S-O-N belongs to God. It's God's Son in German. And God's Son is the light of our world. Okay? Okay? That's why you see Jesus, you see, and you see all the rays around him. Look, they're gonna have somebody that's gonna say, he's black. No, European, look at the nose. Okay, stop. Please. Miss me with the nonsense. That's in the Vatican right now as we speak. Stop. Okay? Okay? Look at the texture. Look at the texture. This look like brass. Like it burned in a furnace. Because it's hot like the sun, you dumb son of a... Oh, you know, but... Yeah. Hmm? What's this? Somebody explain this to me, please. Oh, okay. No problem. Cool. Keep it there. Okay? Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Huh? I just read to you, I am the light of the world. Whosoever follows me will never walk in darkness. I mean, obviously, you are the mother effing sun. When the sun come out, here you are. Now, let me give you guys just a little FYI, okay? The New Testament is sun worship. The Old Testament is moon worship. Okay? 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 Look, I don't gotta make this stuff up. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to open up a congregation and tell you people to come join me. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to tell you it's time for you to denounce this shit. Go find your spirituality, connect back to what your ancestors was doing. If you're melanated like me, if you know you come from places like West Africa, then it's time for you to learn some West African shit. If you say you from America, you the indigenous people here, then you need to go learn some indigenous shit. If you are a European and you know that you come from a Celtic culture, that's where the Celtics come from. That's why one of the first enslaved was the Irish. You know, the Irish was warring with these Europeans, these three-letter men for years. Okay? Do your homework. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Old Buddha also a son. Son of God that healed the sick. Okay? Okay? And look. And of course, the God's son's enemy is the old prince of darkness. This is the foundation of racism. Europeans say my God is a European, so he's the light and he's dark, and you're black, which makes you dark, which makes you the cursed seed. This is the origin of all racism. Prior to this religious, the Abrahamic nonsense, there was nobody referring to individuals of skin color. You were solely known for where you come from. That's why I refer to Europeans as Europeans. I'm not calling you white. White, this is white. You see this? You see this on the screen? This is white. Your skin tone don't look like this. You see this paper? You see this right here? This is white. Your skin tone does not look like this. So I got to call you what you are. If we want to fix the future, we must revert back to the past, right? They say to know where you're going, you must know where you come from. So I don't refer to Europeans this way. I call you European. This is not me being disrespectful. I'm calling you your origin. You are a European. That's it. You are a European. You're not an American. Okay? You're not that. You are a European. You are a European that migrated to America. That's it. We're not going ifs and buts and maybes. If you want to take it as being racial, that's on you. That's eternal. That's nothing to do with me. I'm calling you your origin. I'm not calling you out your name. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just calling you what you are. I'm not even calling you. I'm not saying you come from the caves, the mountains. I'm not saying nothing of that. I'm just simply calling you what you are. You are a European. To be white is pure, right? Purity. That's what you've created. But you got to ask yourself, don't just look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you really pure? Have you ever looked at a black person and said, look at this nigger? Have that ever come out your mouth? Absolutely. You know why? Because you live in a society that is built off racism, prejudice, etc. This is why we got division, racial class, financial class. All of that comes from the Abrahamic religion. Don't listen to me, man. Just pay attention. Here's the father. This is the father. Okay? This is his son. Harmless like a dove, right? Huh? And the Son is his only begotten Son. See you this Sunday? Come on. Come on, people. I'm not going to go to too much. I've been, how long? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. I got to go. I've been here way too long. Okay? And I'm going to show you, look, this is dying on the cross. Man, look. We are told that Jesus died on the cross, but other saviors died on the cross also. Look, here's the Greece. This is the Bacchus, god of wine. The god of wine. This is where you get the origin of the Most High. The Most High is the wine god. You don't, like I said, you guys don't know what you're worshiping. Do your homework. Don't listen to me. Okay? This is the Druids and the people of the Central America. They had their own savior. Okay? This is the Aztecs. Come on now. The zoomorphic form of the Codex, the Borgianius from 15th century Mexico, it represents the crucified savior of the New World. The Spanish monks, oh, here comes another monk, who first went to Mexico were surprised to find the crucifix there and discovered it to be a representation of the death of the Quetzalcoatl. Okay? Okay? People been doing this shit before there was any conversation of Jesus. Okay? Jesus? Okay. Okay. Like I said, you guys don't know what y'all worshiping, man. For real, son. And you guys are going to come over here. Jesus is king. Jesus, king of what? What? The kingdom that, listen, people, listen, look, I got to show my face one time because I'm about to gracefully bow. I've been here way too long. Check this out. Look, the kingdom that you niggas is waiting for to come is already here. Listen, put your belief to the side. Take your drawers and your panties off and sit down. Sit down, right? Sit down. Put your big boy pants on. Put your long dress on and sit down and listen carefully. Put your emotions aside. Put the belief aside and just listen. When Jesus was alive, preaching this nonsense, was there a book? Was there a church? Was there an image? And was there statues of this man? Yes or no? I want you to put that in the comments right now. When Jesus was alive, because I might have to say this one more again. Because you guys are like I said, you guys have been so indoctrinated of this ideology. It's crazy. So when Jesus was alive, was there a book? Was there a church? Was there paintings? Was there statues of this man? Ever? I'll wait for it. Yes or no? I'm going to wait for it. Put yes or no. So if there was absolutely none of this when he was alive and we're seeing it now, what does that mean? Was there a big statue of Jesus in Brazil when Jesus was alive? Yes or no? Was there any churches with his image, books of him ever when he was alive? I will wait for it. Absolutely not. You know why? Because, and I repeat, because his kingdom didn't arrive yet. He told you how his kingdom was going to come. He told you that he will be dividing families, sons from fathers, mothers from daughters. He said, I come not to bring peace on this earth. I come to bring the sword. How did Jesus become the #1 religion throughout the world? Was it really based on his teachings and his works and his miracles? Or did the Crusades play a part in that? Or did enslaving people play a part in that? Make that shit make sense. Make it make sense. Again, you guys don't know what you are worshiping. You got grown men. I'm talking about grown men with gray hair, literally looking in these cameras, standing on these corners, standing up on these podiums in these churches, really telling you niggas that a kingdom of Jesus is coming. Meanwhile, you're living in the kingdom of Jesus right now. Get into, let something bother you right now. The first thing that you're going to say is Jesus Christ. You know this. So if you know this, then why are you sitting here looking at me, telling me that I'm bugging when the kingdom that you're waiting for has arrived? It's here right now in real time. He told you, you shall be persecuted for my name's sake. You niggas thought his persecution was going to be for those that believed. No. The persecution was going to be for those that didn't agree and comply to the new regime of the order of Jesus. This is facts. I'm gonna show you one last thing before I leave. My whiz just pulled up. Now I could go outside now. Let me show you one last thing. Hold on. Let me show you one last thing. Listen. All you guys is gonna say, oh, he don't know this and that. I'm gonna show you one last thing. Because again, you guys don't know. Let me move this over here. Let me see if it was this one. Nope. It's not this one. I think it was this one. Nope. Not this one. Is it this one? Right here. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Look at this. Now, you guys read this. Don't listen to me. I want you guys to read this. Take your time out and read this. Let me move myself. Let me move myself over here. Read that. Read that. Stop being assholes and jackasses and weirdos. Stop coming over here trying to tell me what I'm saying is not to be this and not to be that. I'm proving everything. None of you niggas could even prove that he exists. Where he went to school at? Did he have children? How far do your understanding of this man goes? How far? because I went down these rabbit holes. So I'm gonna wait for it. So again, for the weirdos, let me read it for you. The Spaniards, yeah, took babies from their mother's breast, grabbing them by the feet and smashing their heads against the rocks. This is what they was doing to the children. Okay, check this out. It goes on. It says, they built a long gabbet low enough for the toes to touch the ground and prevent strangling, and hanging 13 natives at a time in honor of who? Yeah. Get mad. I'm not here to argue anything with you guys. You guys take it however you want it. That is on you. That has nothing to do with me. It is what it is. You take it, you run with it. If you want to continue believing this Hollywood story, that's on you. But I'm telling, this is for my melanated brothers and sisters. This nigga is not the way. And if he's not the way, then what way are we going? Because we obviously we heading down a path of destruction. Obviously, we're heading down a path of no return. Obviously, we see what these people have done countless hundreds of years, bro. They have been using religion to justify every wicked shit you see in this earth. Even now, even with the war that you see going on, everything goes back to something of an Abrahamic religion. And you're going to tell me something different? You're going to tell me that I'm the one that's bugging? You're going to say that, yo, son, yo, Jules, you don't know what you're talking about. How I don't know what I'm talking about? How? I've been studying. Listen, I've been. If I show you my library, I have for days, and everything leads right back to the Jesuit Orsinian family. I listen. I see the comments. I would love to read it, but I'm really pressed for time. And yeah, you guys got enough for today. You guys go do. What's up, my guy? What's up, say hi to the people. Say hi. Say hi. You not gonna say hi? Say hi. You don't see nobody? You see yourself? Say hi to daddy. This is what we doing this for. We doing it for them. Are we gonna continue? Listen, for the Europeans, for those that wanna, if this is what you wanna do, but listen, it reign you guys supreme power over the earth. So if that's what you want to participate in, shout out to you. But for my melanated people, is this what we teaching the youth? My son would never walk inside of a Abrahamic synagogue, church, mosque in his life. My son would never call on Jesus, get on his knees and pray, take holy water, drink blood, eat bread. My son would never. I'm doing everything in my powers now to learn my African, my El Kebulan culture. This is no disrespect, but we know that what you niggas have taught us is ineffective. We know that what you niggas have been giving us over the years is not true. We know that it hasn't done anything for us but destroy us, divide us, create a level of hate. You got brothers that's gonna look at me and call me evil and wicked to protect an ideology that they know was forced upon them. But I'm a brother that came off the shores just like you, pimpin'. My family was enslaved just like you, pimpin', excuse me. My community was invaded by these people just like you, bro. Put the religion aside. I'm a fellow comrade, bro. I'm suffering from what you're suffering from, pimping. And these are the facts. And the facts is what matters. And this is why on the real open dialogue, it's always going to be facts over the beliefs. And anybody that agrees or disagree with what I'm saying, I give you one thing to do. Prove me wrong. Look, you see? The brother said, if you lack wisdom, ask God. Which God should I ask? The Orsinian God? The Father? Should I ask that? Because if you're not going to tell me to ask something that I just debunked right in front of you. So which God is that? Listen, my God, my creators have absolutely no ties to anything European. No disrespect. We are not the same genetic makeup. Who you pray to is not beneficial for me, just like what I pray to is not beneficial to you. You know why? Because we was never meant to be like this. This is what religion forces you to believe. They want you to be like this, right? So they can get closer to your goods and your resources. But in the natural order, you guys supposed to be in Europe. Wherever you came from is where you supposed to be. And wherever I come from, we all know where I come from. We all know where we come from. That's where we supposed to be. Period. Not calling on, when you say God, which God? God, Allah, Yahweh, you know that spells gay. I'm not a bate boy. I'm not a SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay? That's what comes with this Abrahamic religion. Pedophilia, homosexuality. That's the origin, that's the foundation of it, bro. Again, you don't know what you're worshiping. Our God is a female deity. Our God is a male and a female. We don't. What man in the right state of mind is gonna believe in 3 male deities? That's super gay. So the Father is a man. The Son is a man. The Holy Spirit gotta dwell inside of you. So another man gotta come inside of you to give you the understanding of the 2 other men. If that's not bate boy behavior, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know. But again, it's your brother, man, from the motherland. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Join the movement. Join the Patreon. Listen, I got some information I can't even put on here because I'm going to be hit with some shit. So you got to join the Patreon if you want to know this. I can tell you one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. Everything that you have been told from World War I, World War II, all that shit has been lies. All of it is lies. There's no war going on in the Middle East. Okay? There's no Iran war and all that. These things is CGI. I had people send me, remember, I am a big space on social media. I had people send me videos directly of them in Dubai. Like, yo, look, man, I don't know what they talking about. This is real time. Show me. Okay? Just like there's nothing that's going on in Ukraine. Okay? They're doing this to have a justification for the increased pricing, to increase fuel. They want you to exalt all your resources, so when you have absolutely nothing, you come begging to them. This is what they want. Remember, we're going to make America great again. America was only great when it was a particular group of people, right? The people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, these niggas would be your plantation owners. If this was slavery in real time, they would be your plantation owners. They are the money getters. They are the money, right? And everybody else was workers. Wake up. Put down the blunt. Put down the alcohol. Pick a side. Are you going to ride with the gangsters? Are you going to ride with the revolution? Are you going to ride with the resistance? Or you're just going to be here for instance? Think about that. It's your brother, man, and I'm a holla. One.